Okay, I think I'm recording. Happy Saturday. Saturday evening for some of you. For others, it's Sunday morning. I wanted to come in and give a little testimony of what I experienced today. Excuse my voice. And just asthma out of control with the fires here in California. But anyway, a couple weeks ago on Tuesday tea time, which we do on Tuesday at 2 Pacific, 4 Central, 5 Eastern, and we do it on Maple of Life, Evangelist Maple's page, and I also share in many groups, and whoever wants it, I will share. But anyway, a couple weeks ago, the Lord gave me a word of speak to my heart, Holy Spirit. Now, in that word that I was given to study and preach on, we were talking about being led by the Holy Spirit, being so sensitive to the Holy Spirit, to go left when He says to go left, to go right when He says to go right, when He says to shut our mouths and don't say anything, to do that. And if He asks us to speak or, what have you, to be so sensitive, just like Mary and Joseph was. If you remember when Pharaoh was killing all the baby boys, right? The angel came and spoke to Mary and Joseph and told them where to sleep, how to get to where they were trying to go, what town to go in so they can hide, and how and where, what to do and where to go to keep baby Jesus alive, right? So that was one of the many scriptures that He had given us. So to be so sensitive to the Holy Spirit, right? So I'm thinking nothing of it, I'm here in the Bay Area, so 680's closed all the way around. I mean, just everywhere. 680's closed. I don't know what they're doing. Hopefully repaving the roads. But anyway, I'm trying to get to Fremont, which I have to go 680. So I put on my GPS. It wants me to go into Livermore and then back to Fremont, which is the other direction. It's like the total opposite direction. So now I'm going to go 580 to 880. I'm going to get to Fremont that way. So I'm on 580, okay, and this detour takes us off on, I want to call it Palomino Road. I don't think that's what it's called. It's in the Castro Valley area, okay. Palaveras Road, I'm sorry. So anyway, thinking, Lord, oh my gosh, please be with me. I've never been on this road before. It looks like one of those dinky roads, that you drive in the mountains, and it's one lane going one way, the other lane going the other way, and you're driving in the mountains. If you go a little bit to the right and you're not supposed to, you're going to be going down into a ditch, into an embankment, okay? Or you're going to be going into the mountain. So here we go. So be so sensitive to the Holy Spirit and not to be distracted by the radio, by the phone, by GPS, by anything. So I have this 18-wheeler in front of me. I don't know what it is with 18-wheelers in myself. But anyway, I have this 18-wheeler in front of me. And this guy's driving like he's never driven a truck before. 18-wheeler is humongous. He's driving like he doesn't know how to turn at a truck. He's going in the opposite lane when you're turning around the corner. You know how the rule is of the road. You're not supposed to pass anybody and go in the oncoming lane when you're turning, because you don't know if a car's coming. Okay. So this 18-wheeler goes into the other lane. This white car comes, almost had a head-on collision in front of me. I mean, my life passed before my eyes, and it wasn't even my accident. It was intense. So then what happened from there was I said, okay, because I was trying to listen to GPS. Every once in a while, I tried to lift up my phone so I could see how many more miles on this crazy road I have to go. So after that, I went, oh my God. I put my phone down and I said, help me, Holy Spirit, hear the GPS so I don't get lost, so I can keep my eyes on the road, okay? Do you know this 18-wheeler, that was not the only time he almost crashed. The Holy Spirit said, pray in tongues. I was on this road for, I want to say 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, okay? When you're praying in tongues, your life flashing before your eyes, it feels like forever, okay? But I'm on this road, and the Holy Spirit's having me pray in tongues, okay? And then this 18-wheeler has that almost accident with the white car, and then he goes into the mountain. Not one time, but 3 or 4 times. So much so, not just a little tire skid, so much so he almost capsized and made the truck fall over, and we're behind, okay? So then I hear the Holy Spirit say, you need to back off. Give him 3, not 1 or 2, 3 car lengths in between you guys. 3 car lengths in between you guys. Okay. So everybody behind me is flashing their lights on me like I'm in it. I was going to say a bad word, sorry Jesus. Like I'm stupid, right? And turning on their flashlights, and so I put on my hazards. And so these people are trying to bypass me to go in front of him. And I said, no, you're not going to die today. So then I started praying Psalms 91 prayer. We will live and not die and proclaim the Lord. Psalms 91 prayer over all of us, that nobody on the road, nobody in their cars, there's bicyclists that go on that road, that nobody on that road be hurt, that no hurt, harm, or danger, that no one be killed on that road because of this truck. And so, oh my gosh, it was so intense. I wanted to call in the Calvary. I wanted to call in the prayer warriors. I didn't have time. I did not have time. I didn't have speed dial on my phone. I was trying to listen to GPS. I was praying. I was being obedient. And every time he crashed into the mountain, the Holy Spirit would take over my mouth. And instead of praying in tongues, I would say, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And then I had to say, Holy Spirit, drive this car. Oh my God, Holy Spirit, drive this car. Drive his car so he does not kill somebody. Drive his car so he doesn't kill himself. Drive this car, Holy Spirit. Just help us get away from this road and away from this guy. Help everybody on this road stay safe. And again, every time, the detour took me to another road, the truck was going the same way. I'm like, Lord, I want to get away from this truck, really. I want to get away from this truck. I want to get away from it. But are we so sensitive to the Holy Spirit when he says slow down and give him 3 car lengths of space? Turn on your hazards when nothing's happening with your car. When he says pray in tongues for 30 minutes, are we going to do it? When he says call on Jesus, are we going to do it for other people? Are we going to be so sensitive so sensitive that we're obedient. Because I'm sure I'm not going to sit here and say I was the only one praying. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be like that apostle that said, "Oh, I'm the only one left that's in your family." I'm not going to say that. But a bunch of the people that was behind me wanted to bypass me and get in his way because they couldn't see what was happening. Nobody behind me. I had 6 or 7 cars behind me flashing their lights at me. Nobody could see what was happening before me. It was me and the Holy Spirit. What are you going to do in that time? You don't have time to think. You don't have time to call, whoever that person is for you. You don't have time to call pastor. You don't have time to call Evangelist Maple. You don't have time to call your prayer warrior that you pray with. You don't have time to do any of it. Are you going to be so distracted by the music or the news on the radio, or so distracted with somebody talking to you on the phone, or so distracted with GPS, or so distracted with, I didn't have Camilla with me, thank God. So distracted with Camilla in the back seat, you know what I mean? And we can't sit here and say, "Oh, because I'm Bishop so-and-so, yeah, I would have been on it, No. It's not about your title. It's not about your title. It's not about your level, okay? No matter what our title is, no matter what our level is, we all have healing to do. We all have growing to do. We all have maturing to do. We all have deeper and deeper intimacy to learn and grow, right? So I'm not talking about titles. I'm not talking about levels. I'm not talking about who's better and who's not. I'm not talking about that. This is confirmation to the word that was given to us, not this last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit. But are we listening? Are we obeying? Are we being so sensitive to the Holy Spirit that we're going to pray when He says pray? Back up when He says back up. Put on the hazards when He said put on the hazards. Call on Jesus right now. Pray Psalms 91. So that was a confirmation to the word. And oh my gosh, was that a testimony to go along with that word? I might have to preach that word again with that testimony in front of it. Oh my goodness gracious. Powerful. Powerful, powerful.